$1.6 million prize pool. I'm double checking to make sure they haven't changed any details since they told us last time. $1 million in US dollars for first prize. That is for the winner. $1 million for winning Dota. It's going to be huge. Dota2.com. The tournament tab is up to. Our website will actually change for the next 24 hours as well. So you guys can actually read all the details.
The day I transformed into an adult was the day I started playing Dota. Times like when you go out on the stage, you represent your country for something, you get the prize. It's the amount of satisfaction and achievement that nothing else can give you. It's something I definitely not regret ever doing. Gaming is simply the proudest thing in my life.
It can be called a gamer, but for me, it's something different. One way to forget about pain is to do something that you will be in completely. So, computer games, for me, it was everything.
This is my career. I chose to do it for so long. Success, in my eyes, is always based off on how other people see you. The eyes of the public, and it's up to them.
It's important to be doing things that you love and you really appreciate, because that's your passion, man. You should really work for your passions. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you have 7 minutes to set everything up, and then we go.
This is the first time I really wanted to take something seriously and do something good for my life.
Ten years ago, competitive gaming wasn't even really a thing. You would play for fun against your friends, maybe you'd play for a cup of coffee or whatever you wanted.
When I started playing, we've been fighting for 24 bottles of beer as the first place. I'm not joking.
From there, though, online happened. And all of a sudden, you weren't just trying to be the best on your block, now you're trying to be the best in the world. And that opened up competitive gaming to a whole new landscape. And one of the games really leading the way is Dota.
Dota is sort of a combination of football or soccer for the Americans and chess. This is probably how I would try to explain Dota to someone who is not familiar with it. At least that's what I did to my parents.
Dota is a game of momentum. You as 5 players try and battle against the other 5 players for momentum.
Every single player controls 1 unit, and the main objective of the game is to destroy the final enemy building, which is called the Ancient.
Everything else that happens in the meantime is your amazing filler of the game.
You could play 100 heroes in conjunction with 99 other heroes. It's just non-stop possibilities, and it's so much fun. And you know, it's like the same map every single time, but it literally never gets boring. I would say Dota is a way of life.
When the prizes started coming, I was like, oh, well, we have like tournaments, so obviously some people is going to come and say, like, well, this is a great game, let's play it, like, let's put money in it. And it started progressing each year.
Those at the top level, they just do like lots of calculations in their head. Something like a beautiful mind, where you see like all kinds of things, and using all this information, make your next move.
I see it in a lot of ways similar to basketball, just like a 5-on-5 game where you kind of have to work together and utilize each other's strengths and synergizing everything together. The teamwork and the trust and the sacrifice, those are all true for every single team sport.
Dota is a game that unites everybody. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what race you are. It's kind of like a bond that is shared. And when you're part of this tight-knit group of people, it's like having a second family. That's something you never let go.
Everyone's searching for something. Fulfillment, fame, satisfaction. It gives you the ability to become someone else. Someone who is powerful, who can take down 5 opponents, express their creativity, break the rules without actually getting arrested. All of these reasons are in there somewhere. The player himself might not even know. He might not even understand it himself. But it's there.
Gaming fulfills my competitive need. I'm a very competitive person. When it comes to sports, I consider gaming a sport, so I use my competitiveness and I fuel it with Dota. So it fulfills that side of me completely.
Fer's one of the best in America, if not the best. He has a lot of experience. He's one of the old hogs, basically. And he's generally just a calm guy, so in my opinion, that's a strength.
Really good basketball player. I remember my coach was watching him play and just talk about picking him up the next year when he came in. Always had nothing but good things to say, but he wasn't picked on the team. Just the reason was, he just wasn't tall enough, I guess. So I know that he found the game, he got really devoted in that and stuff, and just found something else that worked.
I was your typical parent. Clinton, you're spending too much time playing computer games. You need to go to school. You need to go to college. And he would tell me, I want to be able to play games and get paid for it. Now, he said this at a very young age before Dota ever came along. And I thought, well, you know, he's going to grow out of it. He's going to get sick and tired of sitting there in front of that computer and playing. Never did. Never did.
In Singapore, the families actually put a lot of stress on us in terms of our education. I would say it's been tough on me trying to juggle both studies and gaming at the same time. My grades have dropped for like 2 years already, and my parents have treated the gaming as a coursework. I mean, there was this phrase that they used, said, gaming would be the death of you one day.
He's a great player and a great captain. I would say he's the top player in Singapore, easily.
My parents and my family, they don't actually speak much of my gaming career. They don't tell their friends and my other relatives that I'm actually that good at my games. All along, they have only been bragging about my studies, because last time I used to be an A student. I go on, and it seemed like that was the only thing that they could ever be proud of. Actually, there was only been one person that has always been very supportive of me gaming, and that was my ex-girlfriend, Hua Yan. She's from the female Dota team in Singapore. There are a lot of things that we share in life, so many things. In my case, it felt really good, to have someone who truly appreciated what you did best and loved you for it. She's aware of what I'm doing and what I'm passionate about. The breakup was her decision, and I respected it. We've been together for close to 3 years, and ever since the breakup, I haven't gotten over it. I recall the last time she spoke to me, she named me as a bastard, so... well, you're not in contact anymore, but life goes on.
I'm from Ukraine. My nickname is Dendi. I finished my university and I'm just playing computer games right now.
Он занимался музыкой, он играл на фортепиано. Он занимался танцами. В школе мы ставили музыкальные сказки, где он исполнял главные роли. Зрители всегда восхищались его артистичностью. Их детская группа выступала, Данила очень выделялся.
When we were growing up, it wasn't a good time financially for our family. But my grandma helped us to get our first computer in 1997, early, comparing with other kids in Ukraine. We got visitors every day. The friends of my older brother used to come to visit us, and we were playing games.
And Daniel, every time, look what we do. Every time we try to push him away, but he come back and look again.
Это было все в большей степени, чем у моих детей.
During all his conscious life, we were trying to stop him from playing. We were hiding our computer cord everywhere in our apartment, but he always found it.
Мне всегда хотелось его больше понять, даже его вот то увлечение, мне хотелось больше понять, и были на то причины, я не буду о них сейчас говорить. Думаю, где-то в душе он, наверное, немножко жалеет, что он...
She stopped preventing him from playing Dota. She gave Dandy the freedom to choose what is the best for him in his life.
Tournaments back then were like really low prizes, and a lot of prize money didn't even get to the players. There's been a lot of scams with managers and stuff like that. There were like some rumors that it's gonna be like $50,000 first place, and everyone was going like, nah, it's not gonna be like that.
Watch the forums go nuts, guys. Watch the forums go nuts. It is actually confirmed. It is off the frickin' hook. $1.6 million prize pool. That is for the winner. $1 million for winning Dota.
Dota, the game I played for 5 years now, which I played for fun, for some food money or whatever, you know. Okay, it's actually getting big.
It's the largest prize pool of any gaming competition to date. It just felt like the start of something big, like a revolution.
You know, we had everything we needed for the game to become big and respected as an esport.
It would kind of like vindicate us. We're not just playing because we are addicted. There's a goal, a motive that we can actually reach out and grab if we are good enough.
Over in Asia, professional gamers are treated like rock stars. It's a viable career opportunity.
They actually live in gamer houses, so it's set up to be a thing all year long. I think their approach to practice is that it's like a day job.
The fan base is immense. It probably is as big as the whole Western audience together, or even more than that.
So now you really have to play good. You really have to try hard.
It's first place, it's go big or go home. The big teams get big money, but the 9th to 16th place are nothing, and their salaries are not worth considering. While in sports, you have a salary that you can live off.
With pro gaming, I think that's one of the toughest parts is living game to game. It's like living paycheck to paycheck. Like, I have to win. If I don't win, I don't get paid. That's a tough living for anybody. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
When your child wants to become a professional gamer, you don't have any history to look back on, like other sports. I don't know anybody who's made a living at gaming. So it's kind of a scary thing when you see your kid putting their whole life into gaming and not college and not the traditional things. What if nothing comes of it?
Regarding the age, I think yes, like 25, 26 years, it's absolutely maximum for esports. Because 27, 28, 29, 30, your reaction time is lowering and you can click so much, you know, as the kids do.
A lot of financial responsibilities are laid upon me right now, require me to be successful in something or have a job. So it's pretty critical that I am successful if I want to continue like the gaming career.
He's an A-star student, you know. Because of this gaming, it pull him right now. It's very sad for me. So here, the bad one is the auntie. Auntie is the one that always come here and neck. Yeah. Am I right? Huh? Sorry? Am I right? H1, multi-millionaire. Huh? For gaming. Huh? Sorry, you are not. What is your view? What is your plan? That is more important. I mean, we speak ourselves. We speak our frank opinion. It's your choice. What do you want in life? That is more important.
If I'm going to win this tournament, my first thought would be, I will call my ex-girlfriend. Things got a bit bad between us, but right now for me is, if I'm going to win this tournament, my first thought would be, yeah, I'll call her, I'll tell her about it, and I'll want to share this moment with her. Yeah.
This tournament is going to be a moment in every gamer's life. Everything that you've been doing is building up and is going to happen over 1 week. And then it's not 1 week anymore, it's one game. And then it's not that one game, it's that one moment in the game. And then that one moment in the game is where it's going to finish. And how's it going to finish? Are you going to be holding up a trophy? Or are you going to be the most disappointed that you've ever been?
It's Tuesday, so one day before the event. We already have a lot of setup. We have a lot of computer setup right here. Whole booth construction pretty much finished.
So 5 players per side, they can see each other through the glass, they can't hear each other. This booth is soundproofed up, plus the whole setup here, if you look from above, looks exactly like a Dota map. And this is the mid, this is where it all happens.
A few teams have already arrived this morning. We had a lot of teams from Singapore, we had China, we had Malaysia coming in, and Russia. And tomorrow it's finally happening.
We are here live at Gamescom 2011 in beautiful Cologne.
It's the first day of the event. We've got some of the world's best teams here in Dota.
And they're handing out a tournament prize of $1.6 million. It is massive here. A tournament of $1.6 million. That's the future of gaming. This is awesome. It's the first time we're going to see teams of this caliber assembled in one location.
These guys are not just nameless faces. They're the best in the world.
The bunch of teams we have here, there's a few teams that have individual skill that's unbelievable. And then there's a big group of other teams that have good individual skill, not top-notch, but who win through good strategy and team play. Fear is a great player, for example, but he is not comparable to good players in Asia. And that's nothing against Fear, because he's still an excellent player, but he's not them.
Over in Asia, they take gaming so much more seriously. Just to give you an example, the Korean football team were playing in the World Cup. To motivate the Korean football team to play better, they brought in StarCraft Brood War professional gamers into their locker room before they went out so that they got to meet what were their heroes.
In China, Dota is to the people there what StarCraft is to Korea. It's televised. The girls like their boyfriends to be Dota players. After a game, when they're walking around, you can see fans running up to them, asking them to sign on their shirts. It's like a real sport.
The third time I was in China, I was playing with fans for 2 days. They made a video with me, filming me walking in some mountains, and I had to say some sentences and stuff. On the other side of the world. And I was like, yeah, in Dota there's always a new mountain to climb, stuff like this, you know. And I walked up and down and these stairs and started running and lifting some weights, and just to compare this with Dota, like some metaphor stuff.
电子竞技，它在中国，它就是一个
被国家体育总局承认的体育项目，它跟羽毛球、乒乓球、象棋一样，只不过它是一个非奥项目。
I will say that China teams are all great. Every player in the team is strong. You don't recognize China players as a player. You just recognize them as a whole team. You just fear the whole team.
The Chinese teams that have come to this competition are scaring the shit out of everyone else.
We had 2 of the top Chinese teams in our group.
Online Kingdom has not been regarded as one of the favorites to win it. In fact, we're considered bottom 4 or just bottom 8 for sure.
This is our first time on land together. The team together has only been around for around 4 to 5 months, so it's a relatively new team. And Cat, our newest addition, playing carry for us, he's only been on the team for 3 weeks now, actually.
We were really nervous going into the Chinese team, especially the top Chinese teams.
There's going to be players that choke handling this kind of pressure at such a young age.
1437, like, this is the first time he's like ever been on land. It's not easy. Like, this is $1 million tournament, first time he's been on land.
This stage, this prize money, this prestige, this is real competition.
We tried to keep our cool together and we just played our game.
We were super hyped. Everyone was surprised we were doing so good. Even we couldn't believe it.
Online Kingdom dominating right now.
After the match against Tailu, everyone was very excited, you know. We just beat one of the teams that were actually favored to win the competition, so everyone's like spirits were like, oh, we may be able to actually do this, you know.
Beating the Chinese teams, some people just, you know, for fun, they started, okay, hey, it's okay, Nirvana Int, they're the China Slayers.
A few little bit surprises that we had yesterday, quite a few upsets. OK Nirvana International managing to beat 2 Chinese teams in a row, beating out Tailu and OK Nirvana CN. They're currently on roll now, and Chinese teams are not unbeatable. But on the other hand, eHome are just proving that they have been the strongest out of the 4 Chinese teams, having a clean 3-0 record. They are the favorites to win the whole tournament. So they come in with a confidence that they've won so many championships already. It's always a little bit national pride at stake. So of course they want to prove that Chinese Dota is a little bit above the rest. eHome is one of the oldest Chinese Dota organizations. They've always been at the top of competitive gaming, most memorable during ESWC 2010.
Before ESWC 2010, I thought like, yeah, okay, the Chinese, they're probably pretty good, but like, how good can they be? And then we played eHome, who won the tournament without losing a single match. Like, they just crushed everything.
eHome finished the year as the best team in history of Dota.
They were just on a totally different level. Like, they had their manager sitting behind them. He was making their calls. He was running around with this little black book. And they were the first team I heard of who did that.
The eHome manager copying down the draft, doing the prep work. He was their coach. There was a great interview that was done, and it lined up all the top European captains who attended, and the topic was eHome.
If you want to have a big good, you don't need to invite Chinese teams because they're too strong.
So eHome won. What do you think of the Chinese guys?
I never felt this outplayed in my entire life.
It's unbelievable how good they are. Like their timing, their discipline.
They're really in control of the game, the whole game, and they keep this control all the time. This is really crazy to see, actually.
是因为我们在任何国际赛场的时候，所有的国外战队的经理和队员看到我们的时候，全体都会大声的喊eHome。你知道那是一个多么壮观的场面吗？这是一个故事，是一个风俗，就是当大家看到eHome的时候，他们就自然而然地认为王者要入场了。
During this trip to the international, it's actually the same period as my exam periods. So I treated it as a sacrifice that I have to make for the team and for myself. And I find that when it comes to pursuing your passions, it's really up to you to decide if it's worth the sacrifice.
When they're having an exam, they not allow him to leave the school. So I told him already, I said, mind yourself.
Setting out a career in gaming is risky. It's very risky. Because the examinations actually clash with the competition, and missing the exams without a proper explanation, the school didn't recognize the Dota competition as a valid reason. It's kind of breaking school rules.
And the school is very determined to stop him from pursuing his chance of going for this contest. So I think this has created a big stress for the family.
Give this mother very headache, you know.
Aiyo.
It's quite difficult for us to pull him out right now, I think. You know, he's so adamant about it. So that's why when he told me he's going to August, I said, then how about your school exam? What are you going to do?
I think my mother, she was kind of at her limits, telling me about how much gaming has been weighing me down. That was really the talk where I really opened my heart and I shared with her my passion for the game and how much I believe that my team actually has the potential to win, to be the best in the world. So we are stopping at nothing less than first. This is how I try to put it across to my mom. By giving up so much to come here, I have absolute confidence in my team that we will win.
All right, the draft is underway. eHome, they will select up their heroes. Scythe will start selecting theirs. Looking now at both the teams, it looks like eHome, they're fairly relaxed, while Scythe, you know they're eager. They're all gathering around HY to pick.
If you have a losing draft, you will lose the game. This is what I think of Dota. So it's really a lot on drafting.
Drafting is where two captains will select what they want to play with, what heroes are selected and what heroes are taken out. You can select 5 heroes out of a pool of over 100, and you can also remove 4 of those heroes. So 4 heroes you think your opponent will want to use, you can remove.
Before any game, any match, we will decide our ban and picks according to which team we are fighting. Usually we would come up with a very impromptu strategy to try and fight their threat. Yeah, you really have to spend a lot of time thinking of the draft. The draft actually decides a lot of the game itself.
eHome, they're a team with so much experience. They already know the way they want to roll this one out. The only thing that's really going to make it or break it for them is if they can get their execution right.
In that particular matchup, we felt that we needed something that could instill the fear in them.
And Tiny looks to be the last pick up here from Scythe. Bit of an interesting pickup there by Scythe. It's going to start to change around their lanes completely now.
With Tiny, it is good as a surprise strat. If another team doesn't realise where he fits into the whole lineup, then you can really throw the opposition off balance.
He's moving away, but no, HY, he'll just turn around and just pop Selena. I want to point out right now that eHome, they are not noobs. This is just Scythe playing an amazing game.
When you have such a huge audience and you know that everyone is at home watching the game, they have their hopes pinned on you, and I feel that there's so much at stake.
And they should be able to clean it up right now. Tiny, he's going to toss, he's going to launch, and he definitely gets the kill. We've got 3-5-7 getting nailed out there. Nature's Prophet going to get the last hit in as well. This the entire team down for eHome. This is GG. This is now a double rack, or at least. And eHome, they're going to disconnect. We have our first winners bracket finalists. Scythe will advance. eHome will drop down into the losers bracket, and Scythe will now finish up this game.
The 1 million is 1 million. That's a lot. It's gonna make my time playing this game all worth it. Didn't think smoking would do me any good.
Yeah. When did you start smoking?
2 years back. 2 years back. Bad move.
That seems to coincide with when you and your ex-girlfriend broke up.
On bad terms. Feels like she's moved on already. Back then when she was playing the game, it felt like we had something we shared. Yeah, but right now it's like
think she's following this event, but probably this event's big. I hope I will get to make a phone call. Yeah. Finally, I'll have something I'm proud of to tell her about. Finally.
When you played the Russians and the Ukrainians, they were just the unpredictable teams. I had no idea what the Russians were thinking. That was their best weapon.
Oh, we're having fun. We trying to relax. We're trying to scare our opponent. Mind games, mind games. I turn off my brain in the way of being scary of someone.
One of the things I really admire about him is how he hasn't really had an easy life, but he's always so upbeat. He's always so cheerful.
When he first came on the Dota scene, he looked like a 12-year-old boy. Aero was just like, who is this kid? There's no way you could take this guy seriously. And then he would destroy you in games.
Как-то я видела, показали даже где-то в интернете, как он работает с клавиатурой. И это действительно завораживает. Я думаю, что Данилу, может быть, и где-то пригодилась его игра на фортепиано, потому что руки у него совершенно потрясающие.
He can make really good moves. His moves, I think, are unique, and they might win you the game. But he wants to rely completely on skill. He wants like an enemy against him, and he wants to kill him through skill, nothing more. He wants to win the game. His disadvantage is that he doesn't have patience. He wants to make those moves.
He can get a little bit too silly in games. He will try new and different things. He will overextend in team fights because he believes he can get the kill.
And his impatience can go too far, and he might lose the game for us.
Oh, Fury, he's going to go in. This should be the first blood. They got the sprout on Sanjing as well. There's probably going to be a double. Denny's ulti. It hits. Dendy, no, he cannot be. This is Dendy through and through. Starts with a hex, goes to cold snap. He locks him in place. Weaver, really close to death, manages to time lapse back out again. Dandy will TV back to safety. So GG being called by IG Na'Vi. They will take the game. Our winners bracket finalists are going to be Na'Vi versus Scythe.
Most teams that you see that have the most fan bases are full nationality. Our team is all spread out across the world.
He does have it a little harder than us because he doesn't really have this human support that we do.
The hardest thing I had to really deal with in my life is just trying to convince my family about my gaming career. It's really, really difficult, especially when you start out slow, but you know there's a future for something and you put a lot of time in and they keep telling you, like, you should probably get a real job. Well, I was born in the Los Angeles district in Lancaster, California. I lived there with my dad and my mom. Around 2 years old, my dad left my mom. He didn't really say anything. He just packed up and left. She's had to raise us both while going to law school at the same time.
It wasn't real easy as far as just got out of law school, didn't have a job, had huge student loans to pay back. This job came up, and so we moved here on our own. So I've been raising them by myself ever since.
So this is a photo album that I made for Clinton as he was growing up. I put pictures in it as we went along.
My sons were both really active into sports and they wanted to do a lot, so I had to limit them. They could choose 2 per season. That was maximum for me, being able to get them to practice and go watch their games. And that was tough. And Clinton sitting on Santa's lap, his brother Santa.
My brother is more angry at my father for leaving than I am. He thinks about him, he gets upset. Compared to me, I just block him out and, pretend it doesn't exist.
Oh, Clinton already starting video games here.
He was sitting at his house, playing Dota, doing it competitively, had a sponsor team and everything like that. But I think that's when it probably started getting on his mom's nerves.
I have a crazy sleeping schedule. I'm on a European team, so sometimes I have to stay up at pretty ridiculous hours or wake up at ridiculous hours. So the standard day for me is not so standard.
All the nights he'd be up and stuff, the dog would be up too with him, and that would keep her awake most of the nights, and this is kind of where the tension got pretty high.
This went on for years, and it came to the point where I just told him, I said, you know what, you just need to go somewhere else.
So I got kicked out of my house because of my gaming career, basically.
When Clinton first moved in here, he was looking for a desk, and there wasn't anything in the room, and I have a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to take to the dump. And Clinton went out there, and he came back in with this green desk, and he goes, "This is perfect."
So I didn't have a monitor, so I went to my friend, and he had a spare CRT monitor, so I got that. And then obviously I have 2 books here to punch that up so I can actually see the monitor, so it's kind of a ghetto setup. Even when I go to competitions, I don't think I play any differently on the nice setups compared to this one.
Clinton's like the Rocky Balboa of Dota. He's definitely one of the first big US players, and honestly I didn't even know he was that big.
In the North American scene, there weren't many good American players known back then. Everybody respected Fear.
A lot of the people I knew, they quit the game, they moved on, stuff like that, but I stuck with it, so I ended up being one of the oldest players.
With all of his years of experience and all of his constant commitment to the game, he's really shown that he doesn't give up.
Growing up without my father, I think in the end, not having someone there to teach me, the guy side and having a father to help you up, I think that has actually probably made me the person who I am today. I just make sure everything's running smoothly on the team. I kind of play the father figure, I guess.
As a captain, I guess he felt he had that responsibility as well. And he was pretty much my mentor. He did tell me one time, if you need someone to talk to, he would be here. So I kind of see him as a Dota brother.
I've never had an ego thinking I'm better than anyone else. I'm always there willing to help people who are new to the scene. And that's always been kind of my role in the game. I'm just helping players get up for the most part.
Fear actually broke me into the scene, It's very hard to get yourself out there. I mean, back then I was kind of like a fanboy of him, watching his games and whatnot, and he gave me a shot to play at a high level.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Fear. I can guarantee you that.
Going into the match, we were all thinking MEFC didn't do so well earlier, but
if we lost that game, we wouldn't win anything, so it was a high-risk game.
36 minutes in, almost a 7,000 gold advantage in favor of MUFC.
Towards the end of the game, we made a couple mistakes that put 2 heroes on the sideline for us, and they had all 5 still up and decided that they were going to go for a throne.
We were really close to losing our throne. It's below 20% HP.
An online kingdom, they are so close to the point of getting eliminated from this tournament.
We just needed to do something.
I'm gonna go on it. I'm gonna initiate on it.
I ran in first, and then they all went on me instead of focusing on the throne, which is good.
Again by Silver Cross, Fear. He's trying to retreat. He turns into a pig. How the hell is he still alive? They push MUFC back.
We made this huge comeback where we killed all of the heroes, you know, started pushing.
Silver Cross is down! Morphling, he's out of this! The top racks will go! There is no way now that MUFC can come back, but it will be Online Kingdom eliminating MUFC! What an incredible...
Our whole team just went crazy.
Leading Online Kingdom to do the impossible! I've never seen anything like that! And stay tuned, we'll be back here for more exciting gameplay coming up.
Skiche. We are 2008 ESWC winners. One of the best Asian teams, but we don't afraid them. We're gonna fight them. I don't know about my teammates, but I don't feel scary at all. I feel like I want to crush my enemy. That's how I feel. That's it.
Welcome to the winners bracket final, where Scythe goes up against Na'Vi. The winner gets a slot in the grand final.
The crowds were cheering for them, and their draft was very scary. We were like caught off by surprise, but we were like, we got to win this, man. We got to win this and show them who's boss.
The Scythe have managed to take all the best players from Singapore and put them in their lineup. You know, Na'Vi, they look cool, calm, and collective. They know exactly what they've got to do. It all comes down to gameplay right now. And I got to say, like, Na'Vi's lineup, it is not unbeatable. So now they're going to look for the initiation and possible kill. HY is going to get caught. Now bottom lane, held in place. Sven's done. No, Sven will go down here. Light of Heaven, he's helping out, but Denny gets the last hit. Na'Vi are dominating this final. Now Na'Vi, they're going to take the chance here. They're going to go in for the GG, and GG is the call from HY first. Na'Vi are already off their computers. They're not even sticking around. They've got the GG. Na'Vi are into the grand finals and will play for the $1 million. Scythe go down. They will face the winner.
We have just lost our confidence match against Na'Vi. It was actually quite a blow to us. The game was really the turning point for me, because I actually learned that in life you can only trust yourself, actually. Not in the sense that you can't trust people, but yeah, like I said, the ones who will never let you down is yourself.
Within the gaming world, I'd like to be first place. You know, it's like I'm following in behind my mother's footsteps, basically. She worked really hard to get where she is. And I kind of want to be the same way. I want to work hard for whatever I do. For me, I mean, I've never really had a dad, so if I had any questions about anything, the person that I was most comfortable talking to was my mom. She definitely had the most influence on my life. When she comes home from work, she's always, you know, anxious to bring up the subject, how she, you know, won a big case. And I'm always proud of her when she wins these big cases, because I know it means a lot to her. I mean, in the back of my head, I'm always like, if I do well and if I win this tournament, you know, I'll finally be able to prove, like, I'm getting something out of this.
We're looking now over towards the grid, and whoever wins this match will be facing up against eHome, but whoever will lose it is going to be eliminated already. Like, eHome, they're looking really strong.
We had the stronger lane in here. It's the better team fight. Just all we had to do was just control the pushes.
Online Kingdom, they're split! The stun on Sander, they'll splash as well. They're going to claim a windrunner, will they? Yes, they do. It's 2-0 for Online Kingdom. Moscow 5, not the start they wanted. But Online Kingdom having it up.
We were so close to winning until some few mistakes that occurred in the late game.
They might go now. There's 4 heroes standing right next to each other. The timing is wrong. It looks a little...
There's communication problems because we're an international team, so I think full nationality teams have an advantage over most teams.
Almost there. Big try. Fear's in trouble, though. He shackles, and Lacoste is in. He cast his ulti as well.
And it just fell apart from there.
They just slowly beat us down. Eventually, they just broke our base and took every single one of our axes.
Right place. This is really hurting Online Kingdom. They've lost 3. Enigma pops. The team is wiped for Online Kingdom. The base will be taken, and Moscow 5 will now play eHome and advance in the tournament. Now, Online Kingdom, they are out. So much promise. It didn't happen in the end for Fear and the rest of Online Kingdom, and it will be Moscow 5 that will advance.
I think everybody on the team was very emotional. I could only imagine how he was feeling.
Some people take it more personally and they give everything to win.
It was very satisfying knowing that we reached that top 8, but he had better expectations for our team and we'd come a long way, and it's all thanks to Fear.
If you don't go as far as you thought you were going to be, I guess you end up in tears or something.
All of us are really disappointed, but I guess that's just how it goes. When I get back home, I need to make a big decision in my life, like just the benefits of playing Dota professionally, how much I can make from it, and how much time I really need to put in it to be 100%. So the only way I would ever do that is if I move in with my teammates and have like a training house with them, so I know for sure we're all dedicated.
I think things happen for a reason, and when things happen, you just do your best and continue going forward with it. I mean, deep down inside, I know this career is going to work out for me in the end.
冠军的争夺者，而我们中国战队呢，我也是非常的希望，也相信能从我们的败者组杀回来。目前来看的话，很可能前3强将会是由 Navi、Saif 以及我们中国战队的一支，我个人是希望是1Home。
那么感性上来说呢，肯定是1Home， 我们自己中国的战队又是一个老牌的战队。
Turning him into a pig, they need to get this kill. The stun, the Weevil waits. It's a little piglet, and it's dead. Slide, hey 2-0, he's almost dead. Burrow strike, epicenter, 357. It's a double kill by the Weaver. He hurt, they'll lose FCP as well. Moscow 5, casualties of war. Holy hell!
在中国，这个游戏已经是相当的职业化。 他们有一个成绩上的压力，他们如果不拿中国战队如果不拿到成绩的话，或者输给国外队的话，国人会给他们质疑，也会造成很多。
Now Lion though is going to find Tim, frogs him up. Fingers already started. There's a stun knock in a lot of trouble. Really caught out position. Aeoni were flying in, but hits on nothing. Mania with the SK ultimate.
就是形成中国打世界的局面。这本来就是我的本职工作，如果拿冠军的话是应该的。我告诉他们，如果你来这里就是。 来拿冠军的，我每天都会跟他们说，我们一定要做到这件事，我们必须要做到这件事。
我们的传统是除了冠军奖杯以外，剩下奖杯都不往回散，对，他们直接终极场。
BLT support TPing in FCB gets the first stun. Misery overcommits on the top lane. No!
真的，我能感觉到他们真的很想跟我们国外队。
Misery wants the tower, but PLT's had enough of this. FCB! What a time for a frog! Misery will pump!
但是他们看我们打的比赛，他们就觉得根本就赢不了我们。
This is where my dad works. For as long as I remember, man. He's doing the logistics for the company here. So it involves the shipping of the containers from one place to another. When I was younger, he used to work like 15 to 16 hours a day. He's pretty much given up on everything else in his life. He's always made it clear to me that, you know, I should focus on my life, focus on my studies so as to not follow in his footsteps. He doesn't want me to, you know, be slogging as hard as he is right now. But, you know, the chance to be the best in the world at something, you don't get it much in life.
I had my son say,
he working at this, Dota. We spend a lot of time, he get nothing, for me, it's very disappointing. Never go to school, you want to play computer. Then morning, sleep. Then computer until the next day morning, then he sleep. The whole day, at least 15 hours at computer there. It's life. My son's life is like that. For me, I also my son to study more. Don't like me. Never study. When I young, I also same as Han Yong. Always spend a lot of time to play. After now, I also regret. Why don't study? But now, hope my son continue to study education better than me. This is my hope lah.
For each try, I think it was a great choice, a brilliant choice, because he was confident that we could win. It's an opportunity that you shouldn't miss out.
So get ready, sign in, log in, play around, test a little bit, and then join the lobby in about 4 minutes. Okay.
It's a once in a lifetime chance. If you miss it, you might be gone forever. You might not experience it again.
And we have a rematch. eHome versus Scythe. eHome facing up against a team who forced them into the lower bracket.
The psychological pressure is immense, especially upon the drafter, because he is the one who is in the end responsible for the team's picks.
No, trust me, no. Wait, tell me, you really want it? Everything? It's an animation, SF. It's an animation, SF. That's why I think
Shadow Fiend. Alrighty, then it's HY is SF. Everyone knows how to counter a Shadow Fiend. It's a very bold pick up here by Scythe. The fact that if Scythe win the early game, they're going to gain so much momentum, but if they don't, then eHome will basically roll themselves into the grand final. HY, BKB's gonna wear off pretty soon, and Benjamin's a great strike. HY dead. In again, and he wants XY, catches up to him, and he brings him down. Oh, gee, he cogs. Joey, he wants to leave, but there's just no mana. He gets it. If he can pop off an ulti like that, he doesn't really have to reveal himself to his opponent. He can really just initiate. Oh, there he goes! HY just managed to pop off an ultimate. Earthshaker is already dead. A2O really gunning for HY. They're already 3 gone. Made that 4. There's a double kill for the anti-mage, and they're headed for the tower right now. There is a GG. Good game called by HY. Scythe have had enough now. eHome will advance. The Chinese hopes will stay alive as they will go up against Na'Vi with a 1-game disadvantage. The main stars of this tournament, they haven't dropped a single game, and now eHome are going to see if they can
take The first placing was very important to me. And to add on to that, my studies was also at the same time affected by everything. So everything was related. When everything comes falling down at the same time, it's quite hard to handle. Things are all changed. So you got to plan your life again, all over again. I've learned a lot.
You got to realize your flaws. That's the toughest part, I feel. I don't do things as well alone. So if you try to do everything by yourself, it's not gonna be possible, you know.
I'm actually a believer of fate, and I told myself that winning isn't necessary because there are so many more things in life. How you take care of the people you love. I think that's a very big thing, you know. That's a very important thing. It's the most important thing ever.
Keşfiz guys.
Look
It's not
at
fair.
Dandy guys.
Keşfiz guys. I just woke up, it's not fair. My haircut still crazy, no? But I don't care. Okay, I have everything with me. Let's go.
We are now at the final day of the International Dota 2 Championships. It is Na'Vi. They have a one-game advantage, sitting very, very sweetly in the grand final. Who will get a shot at the $1 million?
Na'Vi was running the same strategy the whole time and no one seemed to be able to counter it.
Na'Vi loves pushing from minute 10 and trying to end the game at minute 15. And those strategies are very sensitive because if you fail even once, it can become a very difficult game for you. eHome has been known for how well they defend their base. So if there was a team that could stop Na'Vi's push, it would be eHome.
And let's get this game underway. The players will start to pick up their heroes with $1 million at stake. Na'Vi will need to win 2. eHome will need to win 3.
Running a very, very old school strategy with 3 core heroes, eHome managed to survive Na'Vi's onslaught early.
It's all on Dandy. PLT TP'd himself in. Dandy on the retreat. Back out to the tower. Will he get himself away? X, yes, there it is. Last hit, 3-5-7. The Venomancer brings down Dandy in the middle.
Every time you see Dandy perform, he's always playing very well, and he usually doesn't lose his lanes.
So Dandy, like his impatience is that Chinese teams, they are patient. They look out for the fact that you might cross a line, and they will take you and kill you and win the game through those situations.
Trouble in the middle lane again. There's already the gush, 3-5-7 PLT. Everyone is right on top of Dandy. He's in the wrong place.
The way Na'Vi played, they really gamble, basically.
Dandy's really been ganked, just shut down. And not a single kill to his name as well. Now Na'Vi going to assault inside the base. Watch Hostile. Tier 3 tower VS swap. Hostile in the wrong place. Do know as well. Big enemy throw popping off. Rapid report from line of heaven. Unable to affect eHome. Puck will go down. They want to be initiated on Na'Vi. They need to fall back.
They take your little upsets and they just win the game through those mistakes.
GG from Na'Vi. eHome is celebrating right now inside the booth. Na'Vi cannot believe it. They've dominated this tournament up till now, and eHome takes the first match so convincingly.
That was the first loss of Na'Vi during the whole tournament. They went undefeated until the grand final.
We're going to have a 15-minute break and be right back here soon. Na'Vi, they need to compose themselves. eHome, well, they just seem to be awesome. What a play by them.
Any lose actually make me pretty sad.
We try to put family pictures here. This is our mom and dad, and I think that this one is our favorite actually.
My childhood, we lived full life, and dad was working for all our life.
But he helped us every time in every problem. I just ask him and he'll do everything for me, for Katya, for Daniil as well. But Daniil's and Farah was like friends.
Действительно, мой муж был просто фанатичным рыбаком. Даниил был, ну, я бы сказала, можно сказать, его самым лучшим учеником по рыбалке. Даниил имеет такое же терпение и такую же выдержку, как и его папа. Он мог часами сидеть и смотреть на поплавок, который даже не пытался дергаться.
They can sit with no speaking for hours and just enjoy each other's company. They understood each other without words.
One day I was going fishing, but dad never showed up. And when I came home, it's already super late. He was feeling bad. He went to hospital. He decided to stay for a few weeks, you know, so we watch everything, stuff like this. And cancer.
It was a very big shock for me because he was very thin. I cannot understand, this is my father. We were sure it must be okay, but it's a very short time.
I was really sad and was crying a lot. I was sad about I couldn't say him many times how much I love him.
Ну, после того, как папы не стало, он не ездил на рыбалку ни разу. Ни разу. То есть пока это все осталось в прошлом.
Actually, I spent more time on your computer because I could not think about it. It's like a distractor. It was like a start time, actually. The push to play more. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm playing now. Maybe I wouldn't play at all.
The relationship of Daniil and my mom grew stronger these days. They support each other and they are very good friends. I think that this is very important for Daniil.
You know, 5 years ago I wouldn't care about many things. Now I'm thinking about it a lot. Something knock you down, you need to learn to get up. So I'm trying to research this. To learn to get up. This is the most important moment in my life because everything I worked on wasn't useful, and now I have a chance to win this tournament for my family.
So we have currently Eo and Navi playing in the grand finals. Navi just lost one game versus Eo, and it's 1-1. So both teams have to win 2 matches in order to win the $1 million.
Because our picks look completely different. We were like passive and stuff. People thought like we lost the first game, we're gonna lose the second game. We were maybe a little bit demoralized. We really needed to change to a different pick. We were missing something.
А Enigmu мы взяли просто, чтобы у нас был сильный тимфайт на замес 5 на 5.
It was like last hero left and I never played it before.
And then we're like, Dandy, you go. And he's like, guys, I've never played it, but I could do it. So we took the risk of taking him and risking maybe playing him badly.
So it looks like down on that bottom lane, Dandy will be taking the Enigma. It is going to be a very, very rough lane.
Navi lost the game. They're playing something now that they're not as confident with. eHome figured out Navi, figured out how to play against it, and so I'm going to stick to my word and I'm going to say eHome will win it.
It was incredibly ballsy from Dandy to do that, on the verge of winning $1 million for your team.
这个行为真的是非常非常的愚蠢，这等于是一个可以说等于是一个自杀性的行为。
Dandy really now caught out. He's in trouble. Rockets are flying. FCB, long way in on the tower. Laying the stun. Tinker just lasers him to death. It will cost FCB his life.
We made some little mistakes. We played a really semi-type of like turtle strategy, really passive, really passive. We don't play like that.
Puppy and Dandy just want to retreat back out. A2O! What a fissure! PLT is there! Echo Slam as well! Beautiful play there by eHome.
But I know if I die not for nothing.
X in the middle lane, forced, rocket, laser, there's enough. Dandy goes down in the middle lane. Again, eHome control.
Sometimes this can be like you dying, but your teammates picking up more.
eHome, they still want to push out that mid.
They weren't ready for the Enigma. It was a patient Enigma. That was the most patient Enigma in the world.
Here. Dandy as well, gonna look for the hole. Black hole! 3 gonna go down for eHome.
Carney and Navi, they have the advantage now.
That really impresses me, how he's able to make that transition. You just have to have the balls, basically.
He was scared of losing, that's why he was so patient and he did everything right.
Their strategy, it's kind of similar to how eHome won.
Navi defeated them late game, and I think this really shattered eHome's confidence.
And GG is the call from eHome. Navi, they take the game, and they are only 1 win short of taking home $1 million. But the question really is, can
we hardly won the second game.
Chinese teams generally are feared for the late game potential.
So we hit the point now, the gloves come off, eHome, they will master their knowledge, their experience, their calls up against Na'Vi. And Puck will be the last hero for Na'Vi, the nimble hero there already. Once again, a lot of aggressive heroes for them. Na'Vi, Light of Heaven, playing as the Beastmaster again, with Dendy playing as the Puck this time. If Na'Vi wins this, they win the whole tournament. This clash of the Titans right here is something we will not want to miss. X will come in closer. They will be able to get that kill. Doom now on Dendy, pulled in by X. The entire eHome team turns on him. Lich will go down. FCB's on the run.Avorsov after the chase of him. Might be enough, needs some more damage. Storm! X, long jump in. Danny orbing up on the high ground on FCB. Plus off the rift. Orbing up to get the kill. He's on the retreat. Yes, it is. Danny with the last right click. eHome now. They're going to rotate themselves down. Na'Vi already in the pit. They're going to try and bring down Roshan. All five. Dandy! He's going to jump out. He goes for the dream call. He gets him. He gets eHome. Holds him in the middle lane. Na'Vi already on their way out of the pit. They're coming in to help out Dandy.
Then we just went in and demolished them.
Now they're on top of the tier 3 tower. They're gonna bring it down. Yes, it does. It goes down. eHome, they're trying desperately to defend, but Na'Vi, the onslaught will continue. The mid tower is already being pushed. The tier 4 tower is gonna go down, and running in right now is the rest of Na'Vi. They're running forward to $1 million, and they will get it. The GG is the call from eHome. Na'Vi have just won $1 million. eHome do take home $250,000 in second place, but Na'Vi are the champions. There's moments of esports that are landmark, and this is one of them in Cologne. And Na'Vi, the winners, you guys have just made history.
I was jumping on the sofa and screaming like crazy girl because I was the happiest girl in the world and my brother just won $1 million.
I think in 10 years' time, all the gamers which we currently have showing themselves, they're going to be the guys that we will look back at and say, this was the beginning, this is where it all started. These are the guys that worked hard and they took the risk, they proved themselves, and they forwarded the entire industry to the point where we could have a kickstart, we could show the world what we do, and then who knows how big we can get at that point.
We've come far already. When more and more people support it and it becomes more and more normal, it's going to go from a niche to becoming accepted in society.
I think in 15 years, the sports would be bigger than football, than basketball, than everything.
That kid who you thought played too many video games is potentially going to be on a path where he's earning $250,000 a year salary. He's flying the world. He's going to be endorsed. Gaming's the biggest entertainment industry in the world. So if you're a star, you are potentially one of the biggest stars in the world.
So if that, like everything else with computers, grows exponentially or whatever, then 5 or 10 years could be a big step actually.
Changing mindsets is never easy. So it's going to take a while. When the gamers now become parents, we will be supportive of our kids playing. And I think that's really when everything will boom.
After weeks of training, a local man has led his online gaming team to go, placing 7th in an international gaming competition held in Germany.
Yeah, she's definitely proud of me. I mean, just had her camera out, like, why are you taking a photo of the television? And I know she's really smart, she's a lawyer, so. But in the end, I think she'll be more understanding and be willing to support me more, so it worked out.
We were disappointed with our loss, and yeah, it's a mixture of both. We're happy and sad that we got third.
Regardless of my emotions, I felt like she was the one I wanted to share them with. And it got pretty clear only then that I had to get her back. After the tournament, I actually went back to look for her and talk things out, and we have actually began dating again. Yeah, and things are actually going great. Yeah, I love her, you know. She played a huge role, a very huge part in the me today.
One week ago, it was 3,000 followers. I was happy, and then it's boom, 8,000 followers. It's not about the number. Even if 1 or 2, I'm fine. So you don't need to show numbers, actually, I think.
My father, I think, didn't have time to understand what Dandy is doing. We lost him too early, and if now he can see Dandy, I'm sure that he's proud of his son.